Welcome to the Frugal Freak podcast. You guys asked for it, and I do what you guys want. So we're finally doing this. I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably support me on TikTok. So thanks for coming over here. I have been hesitant to do this because, again, if you support me on TikTok, I'm literally working at like full capacity. Like I have 9 different side hustles. So many of you have been asking for it. And even though I feel like my TikTok is like a podcast, even though my videos are like a minute and a half long, I still feel like it gets the points across that I want to get in a very quick way. But I also like listening to podcasts because, you know, it's nice to throw something on when you're cleaning your house or your apartment or you're driving to work. And obviously, I need to spread the gospel of saving money, living frugal, anti-consumerism, living on a budget. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna do it. Please just be patient with me. This is gonna be a rough launch. You know, I'm not at the moment going to be like, okay, every Thursday night you can expect a video from me. It might be like 2 weeks at a time. Like, again, you guys who support me on TikTok, you know, I am at like absolute full capacity and this is pushing it. but you guys, I've seen it a lot. You guys are asking for it, which means it's probably something I should at least try to do. Oh, I didn't even address the tank top. One of my supporters, Bruce, he made this for me. It says, saving money is treating yourself, because that's the truth. So welcome to my podcast. I called it the Frugal Freak Podcast because I think people think I'm absolutely insane with the frugal lifestyle I live. And I guess my name of the podcast is really just a joke because I feel like I'm very normal and I just live in a very conscientious, minimal way. But because we're so brainwashed by consumerism, my lifestyle looks insane to people. I know I'm a little crazy, but like, relax. So I wanted to use this first episode as an introduction to, I guess, what got me here. Like, what motivated me to live frugal. And again, if you follow me on TikTok, you probably know the story, but we'll just start fresh for everyone. Money has never been a good thing for me. I grew up in a household where my parents were pretty reckless people. Like, it was a very chaotic environment, and my parents could never get it together when it came to money. As young as I could remember, I witnessed my parents fighting about money, and they would fight about money in front of me. At a young age, I really took that on as it's my fault that they are stressed about money. I've always seen money as a negative thing. One of my parents would always tell me, you know, you'll never get ahead with money. Like, this is how every family lives. Every family stresses and struggles with money. So at such a young age, you know, just a teenager in high school, I'm seeing money as a very negative thing. I was very defeated in my teenage years because I saw 2 parents who had full-time jobs. What's the point of me working hard and trying if I'm never going to get ahead? Again, this is like what was developed into my brain because of what I saw and because of what they told me. My solution was to go to college because, again, in the mid to late 2000s, that was the biggest narrative. I was about to swear, but maybe we should try to be good. That was the biggest narrative of the time for a high schooler. You need to go to college. You need to get a degree. It doesn't even matter what degree you get. You just have to go. If you don't get a college degree, you're just going to be flipping burgers. I know we all heard that. I said in my undeveloped 16-year-old body, oh, so if I go to college and get a degree, like everyone is telling me, I'm going to have a better life than what I saw growing up. So I should be going to the best school if I want the best outcome and I want the best future for myself and the best career. I decided to go to the Culinary Institute of America. I went into the pastry arts. I graduated from the Culinary Institute of America at the age of 20 with $130,000 of student loan debt. I had no idea at the time I was in college the mess I was making. My parents didn't sit me down and say, this is how much the school is going to cost. This is what interest looks like on these big loans. All I was told was, go to whatever school you want. You're just going to pay it back when you're done. And I thought, if my parents are letting me do this, this must be okay for me to do. Talk about a mess, right? It was a week before graduating, and they sat me down and they were like, okay, so this is how much debt you're now in. And your monthly payment is going to be like $1,300 or $1,400 a month. That was the moment that changed everything. Like, it didn't take hours. It didn't take days or weeks. It was right in that moment when I was sat in that meeting that my entire life changed. And I knew in that moment I had destroyed my life. I was so confused how society told me I should be doing this. High school teachers told me I should be doing this. High school counselors encouraged me to do this. My own parents encouraged me to do this. And yet I was now the one responsible with 6 figures of debt when all these people who were cheering for me and encouraging me to make this decision were nowhere to be found. So it's in that moment where I realized I'm absolutely fucked. I'm in 6 figures of debt. I'm getting jobs with this degree that are making me $11, $12, $13 an hour. It's over. Mind you, I'm 20 years old. I'm thinking my life is completely over. The one thing I told myself was I have 2 options. I could be exactly what I saw growing up, with my parents telling me it's never going to get better. You'll always be stressed about money. You'll never get ahead with money. This is how everyone lives. Or I had the choice to do something about it. Thank God I was mature enough at 20 years old to say, this is awful, but I refuse for this to be my life forever. From day one of that moment began my frugal journey. My situation felt so extreme and it felt so out of control because I didn't realize the mess I had made. So I asked myself, what am I in control of in this situation? I'm in control of how I spend my money. Even if I'm not making a lot of money, I can control how much money goes out. That was the mindset that I developed, and I never looked back. I graduated from the CIA September of 2013, so it's been 11 years now. I am so grateful that I didn't waste a day living frugal and saving my money. Even though it was such a slow start because I was making such little money with my degree and I was just able to save a little bit every month. I was still always able to pay my bills. I was always able to make my student loan payment, and I was always able to save a little bit. As time was going on, I was starting to see the reward of living frugal, living within my means, not going shopping, cooking my meals at home. I always told myself, there's no way this debt is going to go away, but if I can at least save money, have an emergency fund, and know I'll be okay if something goes wrong, I'll be okay. I said, I'll just live with the debt for the rest of my life, but as long as I just keep hoarding my money, that's essentially what I do. I just was hoarding my money. If I can just build up and build up and build up my savings, I will be okay if I lose my job, if I lose my apartment, if a medical emergency comes up. All I wanted was to be okay and that feeling of safety, because I never had that. I'm sorry, bear with me. Hopefully, is anyone watching at this point? Like, I don't know. Well, fast forward to 2020, and that's where everything really started to pick up for me. Still at the new job, that's the new career. I think at this point I've had a raise up to like $18 an hour, maybe even $19 an hour. I couldn't fucking believe I was making that kind of money. So not only am I making the most money I've ever made through a job, but now I'm doing that website. I was always trying to make more money. No matter what, I was always desperate for more money, and I was doing anything I could do to make it. At this point, it's beginning of 2020, and I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life, and then the pandemic happened. Now I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life, and I get to keep an additional $900 in my pocket because of the payment pause. Thank God I started from day one of finding out I was in this financial nightmare with my student loans, that I started living frugal. I started living disciplined. I started living with a plan, and not just living for today and going out to eat and going shopping and doing this and doing that. Because I know if that was the life I chose for myself, I would now be almost 32 years old, still drowning in that debt, not even near the financial success I've accomplished for myself today. That was the purpose of this episode, was just to explain like what woke me up to my frugal lifestyle. Like, what was it? And it was honestly being terrified. It was being stressed out of my mind and knowing I wanted so much more from my life than what I saw growing up. And I knew if I didn't take the debt seriously, tackle it head on, or look at debt in its eyes, I knew it would be with my life forever. And I just knew I wanted a life without that. And I had no idea how it would happen. I had no idea. Even to this day, I'm like, holy shit, like, you actually did this. Anyways, oh my God. So, long story short, I've been living my frugal lifestyle since the fall of 2013. I have accomplished financial goals that I never in my wildest dreams, absolute wildest dreams, thought I could do. Like, I wish people knew who I was back in 2013, 2014, and how bad it was. And to see how far I've come today. Because I feel like a lot of people watch my TikToks today and they see, oh, I've been able to save $5,000 this month. I've been able to save $7,000 this month. But they don't realize I was living a life where I was at one point able to save a couple $100 at most, if that. It took 11 years of saving my money, making good choices, and also building up my side hustles to have like reached this financial peak that I'm at right now. I'm an 11-year overnight success. But anyways, so that's it. Basically, money traumatized me, and because I was scared for my life, I just started to save every dollar I could and hoarded it. And now, my financial situation is better than I ever dreamed of, which is pretty insane. Thank you. Welcome to the Frugal Freak podcast. High five to you if you made it to the end. Hopefully you guys like this. If you guys have any topics that you would like me to talk about, of course, put it in the comment section. Okay, hopefully I did a good job. All right, love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next episode. Bye.